workshop about crafting characters. So it's really going to be physical and on our feet about making a character, you know, not something you've read in a book or seen on TV, but something that's completely of your own invention, of your own imagination. And we're really going to do that by using our physicality, the way that we move our body. But first, we're going to warm up a little bit. I'm going to tilt this camera angle and get up off the floor. So if everybody wants to, oh, you can't see my head. That's important. Okay. If everybody wants to go ahead and stand up straight, we're going to do something I call actor neutral. And that means I want your feet to be hip distance apart. I'm going to take my jacket off so you can see a little better. Your feet to be hip distance apart. Your shoulders rolled back, your head up high. I want your pelvis tucked under, so you're not doing this, you're not doing that. It's just tucked under straight. Again, roll those shoulders back. Excellent, actor neutral. And I want you to take 3 deep breaths with me. In and out. And in and out. And in and out. Excellent. And can you reach your arms way up to the sky? Really stretch up as tall as you can. And then kind of dive down and reach towards your toes. And roll vertebrae by vertebrae back up. Reach up one more time, maybe lean back a little bit of a back bend. And dive back down, touch your toes. If you can't reach your toes, that's okay. You can put your hands on your shins, on your knees. And slowly roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae. And roll your shoulders back. And roll your shoulders forward. And back. And forward. And back. And forward. Awesome. And take your right arm. I'm going to do opposites of you. So your right arm across. And behind your head. This one's a little trickier. And in any of the body things we do today, go ahead and take your left arm across. Feel free to modify for what fits your own body. If you can't, do something exactly the way I'm demonstrating it, that's okay. Feel free to make a modification that best suits you. And behind your head. And shake, 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 shake. And I want you to take your right foot in your hand. We're going to do a quad stretch like you can see here. If you need to put your hand on something to balance, that's perfectly fine. I want to make sure, though, that we're not doing this because you're not really stretching anything, or this, you're not really stretching anything. You want your knees together in line with each other. Sometimes if you put one arm out, it helps balance. You're going to do the other leg. Take your left foot in your hand. Make sure your knees are straight together. Awesome. Put it down. I want you to take your feet a little bit wider than hips distance apart. I want you to take your right arm and reach it over and slide that left hand down your knees. And circle forward, hang down, and then to the other side so that left hand is coming up and over now. Awesome. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we stretch. We'll do our head. So if you want to roll your neck really carefully to the right, and don't go all the way back because that can kind of crunch your neck bones and hurt them. So just from the left to the right, and the right to the left, left to right, right to left. And we'll do one last thing. You want to kind of squat down like this so your legs are really wide, kind of in almost like a sumo squat. Then I want you to really carefully put your left shoulder in, kind of get that back. And straighten back out, and put your right shoulder in. Awesome. Come back to that neutral, and then slowly bring your feet back together. Come back to that actor neutral. All right, so we got our body now. Now I'm gonna lead you through just a little bit of a vocal warm up. So if everybody I'll say and then you'll say. So repeat after me. So go ahead and put a hand on your chest. I am the great and powerful Oz. Yeah, and you really want to think, we're putting our hand on our chest because you want to think about using your chest voice, about that sound resonating or vibrating in your chest, that this is the place where your voice is coming from. So one more time, repeat after me. I am the great and powerful Oz. Awesome. And then I want you to take your two hands and place them right here really lightly on your cheeks. You don't need to like push in and crush them. Just really lightly rest them on the tops of your cheeks, kind of right where your under eye starts. There's no place like home. Awesome. And right here, this is what we call our mask voice, because this part of our face is called our mask. And it's really like a mid voice, like a natural resting place for your voice. So you want to think about using a nice, healthy, like middle medium tone coming out of here. So one more time, repeat after me. There's no place like home. Awesome. And then you're going to take two fingers and you're going to put them on your nose, but I don't want you to pinch your nose closed. You're just going to place your fingers on your nose. Get you, my pretty. Yeah, so this is your nasal voice for obvious reasons. And you should really think about, when you're making this tone with your voice, about the sound going up your nostrils, like you're breathing the sound up and out of your nostrils. So one more time, repeat after me. Get you, my pretty. Awesome. And the last one, I want you to put your hand on top of your head. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? Ah, awesome. This is called your head voice, and it's called your head voice because you want to think about the tone coming and spiraling up and out of your head. So it's almost like your voice is like spinning out of the top of your head, and it's a light, airy tone. One more time, repeat after me. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? Awesome. So this is a great vocal warm-up you can do if you're in a performance or a show, because it warms up all the different parts of your voice. It's also a great vocal warm-up to remember when you're crafting the voice of a character, because it really takes you through all the different places that you can resonate in your body, because a character you're playing may not necessarily talk like you. They might have a deeper voice, a higher voice, a more pinchy voice. So thinking about these places where your voice resonates is really great in crafting that character voice that you might need to use at some point. Awesome. So now we've warmed up a little bit. We're going to sort of get into the meat of the workshop. I'm going to see if I can push you a little farther back so you can see more of me. I'm going to get into the meat of this character workshop in crafting what you're doing. And we're going to start by doing an exercise that I simply call lead with a body part. And how it'll work is that I'm going to give you the name of a body part, like your elbows, your forehead, your toes. And I want you to imagine that, let's say I gave you your belly button, that there is a string attached to your belly button, like you're a puppet, and you're being pulled forward by that string. There's a puppeteer on the other end of that string pulling you from that point in your body. So that point in your body is leading. And now when I give you the name of a body part, we're going to do it on a 1 to 5 scale. So I'm going to start by saying like belly button level 1, which means that you're moving just a little bit by your belly. And then we'll increase 2, 3, 4, 5. So with every number, it will get more pronounced. It'll get bigger how you're moving, leading with your body part. So like if this is level 1 with belly, this might be level 5. So we're going to do it on a sliding scale. Cool? Can you give me a thumbs up if you understand? Awesome. All right. So I just talked about belly button, so let's start with that one. I want everybody to imagine there's a string on your belly button pulling you forward, and start moving around your space with that belly button leading at a level 1. Just a little. and a level 2. A little bit more. Level 3. Level 4. And a level 5. Excellent, and relax for a second. We're gonna go through that cycle one more time, and I want you to think about a kind of character or creature or a type of person that might move in this way, that might move being led by this center part of their body. And I want you to lean into what that character is. So for example, something that might lead with this part of their body is a bear that's really full. So I would really lean into being that really full bear. Cool? All right, so we're gonna start at level 1 again. So level 1, thinking about that character, that creature. 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome, and relax. See, there's some things going on in the chat. An ostrich, that's a great example of something that would move that way. I love it. Excellent, so we're gonna do the same thing with a different body part. So what's gonna happen this time is that I'm gonna count you up from 1 to 5. And then as we're going back down 5 down to 1, I want you to think about what kind of character might move that way and start integrating what kind of character or creature might move that way into what you're doing. Awesome. So now I want you to imagine that there are strings tied to your forehead, that your forehead is being pulled forward. So I want you to move with your forehead at a level 1. At a level 1. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then as you're moving at this level 5, I want you to consider what kind of character or creature might move this way and start integrating that into your movement. And bring it to a 4, a 3, a 2, and a 1. Awesome. Now we're going to try something a little trickier. We're going to do our elbows, maybe seeming a little bit more unnatural for something to move that way. So I want you to imagine strings tied to both your elbows. And they're pulling you forward at a level 1. And a level 2. A 3. A 4. And a 5. Awesome. And again, while you're moving here at this level 5, just to consider, why might someone or something be moving in this way? What kind of character might move this way? What would compel something to move this way? And incorporate it into your movement. So we're at a 5, and I want you to bring it down to a 4. To a 3. A 2. And a 1. Awesome, friends. Now we're going to do one last one before we move into some choice, some self-led movement. And I want you to consider that there are two strings tied to your toes, tied to your big toes. So you're being led by your toes at a level 1. And a 2. And a 3. 4. And a 5. I can see you all on your little screens. You're doing a great job. I wish I could see more of you. And again, consider what kind of character might move this way, what kind of creature, what kind of circumstance. And bring it down to a 4. A 3. A 2. And a 1. You can relax for a minute, maybe come back to that actor neutral while I give you this next part of the instruction. Somebody doing the limbo, someone carrying candy. These are all great. I love your little chat suggestions here. So for the next one, I want you to pick a body part to lead with. It can be either something that we've already done, or if you can think of a different part of your body, it might be interesting to experiment leading from. We're gonna go ahead and go through the levels 1 to 5 with that. I'm gonna let how that movement is happening be the basis of your character. So the body part you pick to lead with is going to be the basis of this character you're creating. So take a second and think about what body part you might want to use. And I'll know that you're ready to move on when I see a little video standing in a nice actor neutral. Awesome. You guys have great actor neutrals. All right. So think about that body part you've chosen. I'm going to use my hips and start moving that way to level 1. And a level 2. And a level 3. 4. And a 5. So right now we're at that level 5. We're at that most exaggerated version of this movement. If you want to tone it down a little bit and bring it to a 2 or a 3, you can. Or if you want to keep moving at that level 5, you can. And I want us to move from the general with this movement to more specific, crafting a character based around this movement. And try not to think of a character that necessarily already exists from TV or movies or a book, but someone you're totally creating out of your mind, someone or something. And I want you to start with their energy. Think about if this character you're creating, do they move slowly? Do they move really quick? Do they maybe move somewhere in the middle, somewhere in a more medium tempo? Do you think about the energy, the tempo, the pace with which they're moving? Are they kind of sluggish, sleepy, lugubrious, or are they more quick-paced and energetic? And keep moving, thinking of that energy. My character is pretty lugubrious, pretty mellow. Yeah, really lean into that energy, get comfortable with it. I want you to think of a sound or a vocalization that your character might make. Maybe a sigh, a groan, a squeak, a giggle, any kind of repetitive sound that might come out of your character. I want you to go ahead while you're moving to make that sound, to make that vocalization kind of over and over again. And really see if making that sound, Does it change how you're moving at all? Does it add to your physicality? Does it make you want to move a little differently? How does the sound inform your character? All right, we're gonna keep moving and making this sound for about 10 more seconds. Really see all you can discover within your character here. Awesome, and I want you to go ahead and in 3, 2, 1, return to that actor neutral. That actor neutral. Oh, somebody's made a lovely drawing of their character. Awesome. And so now we're going to move into some statues or tableaus, which are really just frozen shapes with your body that represent your character in different facets. So the first one we're going to do is I want you to consider what your character's main emotion is, how they feel most of the time, their overriding emotion. Think about the vocalization, the sound that you picked, and what emotion that implies. Like if you were sighing or groaning, like maybe your character is kind of stressed or sad, and why your character feels this way. What's causing them to feel sad or happy or stressed or excited? And then how this feeling shows in their body. How can we see that they're happy or they're sad? And so I'm gonna count down from 10. And by the time I reach 0, I want you to be in a frozen statue that's showing me your character's overriding emotion. So making a shape with your body that shows me the emotion your character is feeling. So I'm gonna start from 10, and by the time I hit 0, I'll see some statues. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to take a second, come up to the screen and see if I can look at some of your statues. So stay frozen. Oh, these are great. Oh, wow. These are really evocative. Awesome. And relax. Wow, you guys did a great job with that. All right, we're going to do another one. So I want you to lock in what that emotion was. Remember what that emotion was that you picked for your character and how you showed it in your body. And I want you to consider what your character's job is, what their occupation is, what they do all day. Like maybe they don't have a job, but maybe they're a student, or maybe they play video games all day. Like what do they do all day? What's their main thing they're doing? And we're gonna make another statue about that. So take a second, think about what they do and how they feel about what they do. Some people really like their jobs and some people don't really enjoy their jobs. So think about how you can show how your character feels about what they do. I'm going to count down from 10 again. And by the time I hit 0, you'll be in a frozen statue showing me with your body what your character does, what their job is, what the main thing they do is. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, excellent. I see somebody reading. I see some fighters. I see somebody who's looking a little, maybe their character's a little bored, a little discontent. A lot of reading happening. I see some power poses. I see somebody who's writing, who's a writer. Oh, I see some of you already introduced some props. Incredible. Awesome. And you can go ahead and relax. So one more time, can you go back and can you show me your emotion statue again? Do you remember it? If I count down from 3, 2, 1, can you hit it? 3, 2, 1. Awesome. And then I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1 again. And I want to see your occupation, your job statue. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. And I want you to think about how those two things relate to each other in your character, how their overriding emotion hits with their occupation. Your screen is black. Oh no, I'm not sure why that would happen. Awesome. We're going to do one more statue. And this statue is about, oh, somebody else can't see anything. I don't know why that is. Oh, is that happening to a lot of people? Can you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Thumbs up if you can still see. I see a thumbs down, a thumbs up. Okay, seems like most people are still okay. All right, excellent. I'm sorry for those friends who can't see anything. Excellent. So our last statue is something called an objective. An objective is something that every character has in a play, in a movie, in a book. And an objective is their goal, or the main. If too many people are on it, it doesn't. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop and read what's going on. Oh, it does that. Interesting. Okay. Hopefully it's all good. Sorry. Back to objective. Is the main thing that a character wants. It's their goal. It's what they're trying to find or do or achieve. So I want you, it's like their innermost desire almost. So I want you to think about what your character wants. What's their objective? What do they want in life? What are they trying to get at, to achieve? And we're going to make one last frozen statue that represents that objective. So this can be less of like a literal representation of your character and more of a reflection of their innermost desires. So something they might not necessarily share with just anybody they pass on the street, something really personal about them. All right, I'm going to count down from 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, awesome. I see love, see some power, some bravery. Oh, these are awesome. Some uncertainty, maybe some justice. Oh, these are beautiful. Knowledge, I see with the books. This is awesome, friends. All right, and you can relax. I'm going to do that same countdown from 3, 2, 1, and I want to see, I'll start with your emotion, and then we'll do your occupation, your job, and then we'll do your objective again. So I'm going to count down from 3, 2, 1, and I want to see your emotion statue. So 3, 2, 1, emotion. Awesome. And then next I'm going to count down and I want to see your job, your occupation statue. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. And then last one, your objective, your deepest desire. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Excellent. You can relax and I want you to synthesize all that information. Bring all that information together in your head. And we're going to move around the room one more time. As we were with that leading with the body part. So when you were leading with your body part and with your vocalization as your character. But I want you to think about how this new information you've learned about your character's emotion, about their job, about their desires, their objective, informs how you move. Maybe you move a little differently now that you have this new information. So we're gonna move around the room for another minute, and then we will move on to our next activity. All right, so I'll know you're ready when I see some actor neutrals in these videos. Awesome, and go ahead and move around the room again, leading with that body part, making that sound. Considering how you move differently now with this new information. Maybe you incorporate more parts of your body into how you move. Get your head in there, maybe your shoulders. Really lean into how this character moves. Awesome, and go ahead and relax. I'm gonna bring my chair over for a second. So next thing we're going to do is that I'm going to take you through something called a narrative pantomime. And a narrative pantomime basically is just when an instructor or a leader reads a bit of narration, and I want you to act out what I'm reading, but as your character. So I'm not necessarily going to tell you exactly how to move or what to do, but I'm going to pose some questions while I read this. I want you to make choices about a day in the life of your character is basically what I'm leading you through. Make choices about how your character moves through life every day, what that looks like for them. Cool? Awesome. So hit me again with that actor neutral. We're always going to come back to our home base of actor neutral today. Awesome. Beautiful. All right. Now we're going to start this off as you're waking up in the morning. If you're comfortable lying down on the floor, go for it. If not, if you just want to stay standing or take a seat somewhere, you do you. I know my floor is a little dirty, so I don't judge you if you don't want to lie down. Give everybody a few seconds to get situated. Awesome. Your alarm goes off in the morning. Do you jump right out of bed and get ready for the day ahead? Do you hit snooze? Do you grumble and groan at the prospect of a tiresome day? So we're waking up in the morning. Show me how your character wakes up in the morning. What's your morning routine? Do you wash up, brush your hair, make yourself up a little bit? Have you already picked out a meticulous outfit, or do you just grab something off of the floor? Yeah, how does your character get dressed, get ready for the day? What's their routine? Can be really different from what your morning routine is. Can be a totally different person from you, a different creature from you. What do you make yourself for breakfast? Pack for lunch? Do you take your time eating mindfully or grab a granola bar as you run out the door? What do they eat? What do they like? What do they have time for? Where are you going? Ooh, waffles, that sounds good. Where are you going as you head out for the day? To work? See a friend? Go to the store? Where are you going? How do you spend your day? Are you in a hurry? How are you getting there? You walking, driving, biking, taking a bus or the train? Are you on a busy city street or a quiet sidewalk? What does your commute look like? How are you getting where you're going? Is it a stressful process? Is it relaxed? Do you stop and smell the roses? Do you pass anyone on your commute? How do you interact with these strangers you might come across or run into? Do you keep your head down, engross yourself in your phone or a book, offer a friendly smile or nod? How do you meet strangers that you see on your commute? Again, it could be really different from what you do. Do you see anyone you know along the way? How do you greet a friend or acquaintance? You see someone you know, how does your character respond to that? A handshake, a hello, a hug? Do you catch up about your days? Do you stop and chat or keep on moving? Around the corner, you see your destination. You walk through the door. Where are you? How does it look, feel, smell? Are you excited to be there? Are you excited to have arrived? Who greets you as you walk in? Who else is there? Are you going into an empty room, or do you have a coworker, a shop clerk, a friend? Who else is there to greet you? How do you feel about them? How do you feel about this person? How will you spend your time in this location today? What are you going to do now that you've reached your destination? Yeah, show me a little bit of what you might do at this job all day. Or if you're, live a life of leisure, if you're, at a bubbling brook just reading, how are you spending your day? What are you doing? Show me with your body how your character goes through that day. Are they doing heavy labor? Are they doing something maybe at a desk or a computer? They're doing something really on their feet with other people? Do they work alone all day? How do they feel about what they're doing? Do they like it? Are they just counting down the minutes until the clock hits 5 and they can go home? How do they feel about what they do? After a long day, it's time to return home. Hop back on your commute, walking, driving, taking the train. I'm gonna do your commute in reverse. How do you get back home? Is your energy different at the end of the day from the beginning of the day? Are you excited to be going home? Or are you maybe exhausted from a day of work? You see your home and open the door. Is anyone there to welcome you? Do you live with family, a roommate, a significant other, or by yourself? Are you relieved to be back home, or is there maybe tension in your home life that your character is coming back to? Is there something you left unfinished in your day that you're still carrying around with you, something you're still thinking about from today? How do you relax or unwind from the day? Do you cook dinner, read a book, watch TV, call a friend? Are you staying in for the night? Or are you going back out somewhere to see someone or do something now that work is over? How does your character relax? How do they unwind? Who, if anyone, do you talk to? Is your character by itself all night, or are you talking to someone? Is there someone else there they're interacting with? Eventually, it's time to turn in. How do you get ready for bed? Are you methodical in your nightly routine? Do you have it all planned out, how you wash your face, wash your hair, brush your teeth, play your ocean sounds? Do you read a good book? Or do you kind of just slump into bed looking at your phone or your computer? I, as a person, slump into bed with my computer. I can't help it. How does your character get ready for bed? What's their routine? Do you easily drift off into sleep? Or are you restless? How easy is it for your character to get to sleep? And why might it be that way? And why might they have trouble getting to sleep? Eventually, you drift off, thinking about doing it all over again tomorrow. Awesome, and you can go ahead and relax. And you guys, I see that you're using this chat feature. I love it. I wish I was able to watch it in more real time, but if you want to post maybe in that chat feature, one new discovery you had about your character from doing that exercise, one new thing you learned about your character through doing that narrative pantomime. They like to paint. Awesome. See, some of your characters were restless. Your character is shy. They like coffee. Constant moral dilemmas. I feel that one. Underminer of the king. Dislikes social interactions. Read books. Is a sad person. It's away with slacking off. Stressed. Likes coffee and bagels. Prideful and purposeful. Awesome. These are great discoveries, and you can really use these in all the different facets of your character. You can really show us how your character carries these things about themselves. Likes cupcakes, always working. Tries solving tax problems. That's important. Loves going fast. Likes fruit bars. these are wonderful details to know about your character. And I know that sometimes it can feel like these are kind of useless details to know, but this is actually the kind of background work that professional actors do when trying to form a character that's in an already scripted play. They ask themselves all these questions. How does my character get up in the morning? What do they like to eat? How do they feel going through their day? Because even if it's not something that's in the script that you have to say, all of these little details about your character informs how you act them out. Just like all of the little details about you show up in your everyday life and how you interact with people and the way that you move and speak. That all of these details are really important to who they are as a person. Awesome. So we're going to do one last exercise today, and it involves you going and finding something to work with. So we're going to do prop work, and prop is just a fancy word for an object to use in a play, like a book or a pencil or a spaceship. So I want you to go ahead and look around the room where you're in. You know, you don't need to go far, and just find a prop or an object that you feel might be important to your character or that your character might use. Just anything from your room that you think that might be something your character likes or uses or has on their day-to-day adventures. I'm gonna give you a few seconds to pick something out. I'll grab my other piece of notes while you find something. Awesome. Let's check and see how people are doing at finding their props. I see some people are still looking. Oh, I see a live cat. That is quite the prop. Awesome. All right, it feels like most people have kind of returned back to us, like you've all got something. Awesome. So I want you to take a second and kind of analyze that prop. Really look at it, that object, and kind of notice every nook and cranny of it, everything about it, all the different ways that your character could interact with the object, could use it. You know, a book is mainly used for reading, but it could also be chucked across a room or hit over the head with. Those are both very violent options, but you get the idea. Prop can be used in a lot of different ways. Awesome. And then think about, why does your character have this object? Where did they get it from? What did they use it for? Did they buy it, steal it, receive it as a gift? Where did they get it from? Why do they have it? Why is it important to them, or why is it necessary to their day-to-day life? Awesome. And then one last time, I'm going to play some music this time. And we're going to go back to moving around the room one last time as your character, thinking about that body part you're leading with, that physicality, how you're carrying all this new information about them in your body. Think about their emotion, their job, their objective, their desire. Thinking about how you carry all that in your body. But we're going to move with the prop and see how this prop, how moving with this prop changes your movement. How does your character use this prop? Do they treat it carefully? Do they barely notice it? What's your character's relationship with this prop? How does it change how they move? So I want everybody to return to an actor neutral with their prop. And once I start playing the music, I want you to feel free to start moving around your room again and exploring your character. Awesome, friends. Go ahead and you can relax your body and come back. So we're almost at the end of our time today, your time with me and crafting that character. But before we go, I want you to think about what are 3 things that you learned about your character throughout this workshop. 3 pieces of information, 3 characteristics you learned about this character you're creating. And you can either tell it to an adult that's in the room with you, or you can go ahead and put it in that chat and share with me, or just think about it in your own head, maybe write it down. But think about, what are 3 characteristics of your character that you learned? Fierce, determined. Awesome. And then I also wanted to touch on, I did a little bit, but everything we did today can be applied to working with scripted characters, to characters that are already written in a play or story that you can take if you're cast in a play one day, or if you're working on a scene with a partner, that you can do all of these exercises we did today to explore that character more, to be able to really embody that character when you're performing the play or the scene. So these are all really helpful things to hold on to for later in your acting or performance career. I'm loving this. Ruthless, mean, unapologetic, cheerful and loving, famous, is famous, shy, and has a pet wolf pup. I love the creativity you're showing me here. These are really awesome answers, that you're really thinking deeply about these characters, not just, maybe who they are or what they do, but really how they feel inside. Addicted to their phone, I feel that one. Prideful, cunning, and wise, passionate, very sad, very happy and lazy. Awesome. These are beautiful. Thank you, friends. So don't forget that next week, I believe on Tuesday and Thursday of next week, my coworker Betsy will be leading you through writing workshops about your characters. So writing monologues based on the character you just created. So those will be posted at asf.net/workshops. You can find those. And then next, in about a week and a half, so not next week, but the week after, I'll be back to help coach you through performing those monologues that you wrote yourself. So thank you so much for joining us. Please feel free to share this with your friends. We'll be posting this video up later this week at asf.net/workshops. And I hope I see you all again soon.